Time.
And we're reviewing another Batman game.
Uh-oh.
Could it break the curse?
I hope so.
There's rumors out there.
I hope so.
Today on the show, Tommy and I take a look at Batman Begins, The Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, Fantastic Four, and we also check out Fantastic Four and Batman Begins controllers. Some of the games we look at on Reviews on the Run are intended for a mature audience. Please pay attention to each game's ESRB rating.
All right, the first game we're talking about today is Batman Begins. This one's from Electronic Arts.
Batman Returns?
No, that was the second movie. This is brand new.
Okay.
He has a really tough time with the titles of games.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so Batman Begins. This was developed by Eurocom, published by EA, of course. They got the license. It's out there for all three consoles. We looked at this one on the Xbox.
That's
What'd
right.
you think?
I gotta say, this game, finally, they do a good Batman game. Rejoice!
Yes!
There's a good Batman game! The curse has been broken. Hey, if the Red Sox could win a World Series,
we could get a good Batman.
You could get a good Batman game.
I agree.
The Red Sox won the World Series.
I agree. Calm down. It's all good.
It's still a little...
But it's only a good Batman game. It's not a great Batman game.
It's a great Batman game. I'll tell you why.
There's some great elements.
It's kind of like a cross between Prince of Persia meets Splinter Cell meets Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, elements of all those. And I'll tell you, when I played Splinter Cell, that was the first time that I went, why can't there be a Batman game like this?
Well, now there is.
So obviously some other people were thinking the same thing.
What you can do, first of all, I'd like to talk about the graphics itself. Now, they use clips from the film really well to set up the movie.
Yes.
You know, it reminded me a lot of Lord of the Rings, the way they set up
Same philosophy, big time. Same kinds of unlockables. You beat levels and you get movie clips.
So, I mean, you had these amazing graphics, right?
Yep.
I thought the sound was really good. They used a lot of the elements from the sound. Production quality was great.
Faultless.
The controls were super, and I like the way you can control the camera angles.
Controls were good. The
really
camera angles were all right, but definitely not up at the caliber of Prince of Persia or Splinter Cell.
I don't know.
And we're talking about a game that's iterative and derivative of both of those games.
Was it?
Iterative.
It was iterative?
Iterative.
Iterative. Explain, Mr. Rogers, what the word of the day is.
Iterative is like it's like another version. It's not. It's like the sequel is an iteration.
I think he makes this stuff up.
No, I don't. I read. I've actually read things in my life. It's awesome.
That weren't video game manuals?
Yeah, it's true.
It's odd.
It's true. But anyways, it pulled from those, but didn't quite reach the caliber of those games. And I'll tell you what my biggest problem with this game was, and I really enjoyed it for the most part. I love being in the Batman universe.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was being led through the whole thing. You click around.
Well, that's what video games are.
No,
to
come
some
on.
extent.
Come on.
No, I agree. It is linear. It's linear.
Incredibly linear. There are some branching sort of levels, and you don't have to beat up all the bad guys as you get into the game.
Right.
But for big chunks of it, there's only one direction to go.
So you wanted to see a bigger world.
Things like not being able to throw your Batarang anytime that you want to, or boxes that can only be broken if they're in your way for your linear path. I mean, this game does have the Batman mythos down really well. You can unlock all kinds of great things, new costumes. So the challenge becomes to make it a completely unique and filling experience. And I think they kind of let us down here a little bit. They could have gone a little bit farther.
I love playing the movie, though. I love following the storyline of the movie. I don't want a bunch of different new stuff.
Well, if they're going to rip off Splinter Cell, make it better than Splinter Cell. You know what I'm saying? You play Chaos Theory, and you look at Chaos Theory, and you look at the new Batman game.
I'm very disappointed in the words that are coming out of your mouth. But I'll tell you, one of the best things is that there were no nipples on the Batman costume. I think that's very important.
See, another design by the movie guys.
To note, yes, no nipples. So what are you going to score this?
I'm giving it a 7.5.
Oh, my God.
I think that's a good score.
Are you kidding me? 7.5 is good, I guess. I'm going to give it an 8.5. I really liked the game.
Unbelievable. You liked it more than me.
On the positive side, the graphics are really excellent. There's tons of cool unlockables, and there's a lot of great gameplay elements in there taken from some of the best games out there.
On the negative side, this game takes a lot of ideas from other games. The adventure itself is unbelievably linear. My biggest complaint, though, is that there just isn't enough interactive elements in the world that they've created for the game.
Hey, I wonder if Bob the Angry Flower would dig playing Fantastic Four for the Game Boy Advance. This is not for the DS, this is the Game Boy Advance. Guess what? You can play all 4 Fantastic Four characters, of course. Now, the graphics are okay. The animations are okay. You know, they got the "it's clobbering time" voiceover stuff in there as well from the film and stuff. You know, it is kind of a fun hack and slash, beat 'em up kind of thing. But you know, the problem is that now that the PSP out and the DS is out, there's so many more kind of cooler, better 3D things out there that it's kind of hard to kind of come back now and play a game like this. But it is fun. It is the only Fantastic Four on the handheld system right now, currently, as I give this review. Who knows what's coming out? But if you love Fantastic Four, you're going to dig this one a little bit, I think. Not too bad. I'm going to give it a 6.5.
All right, stick around, comic book fans. We're coming right back with a brand new Incredible Hulk game.
And the Incredible Hulk will not be coming out of my pants.
That's a guarantee.
Games. We take games seriously. Although the very first Legacy of Kain game is still my favorite. That was published on the PlayStation 1 years ago. It was a fantastic game. You definitely should check it out. I still really love Legacy of Kain Defiance, which was the most recent of the Kain games, and there's been a bunch of them. I really love this one because it delivered sort of the best of current-gen visuals. It's really gorgeous, you know, all kinds of amazing-looking detailed backgrounds, lots of ornate kind of stained glass and awesome lighting effects. Very cool kind of flashy magic attacks and things like that. All the creatures that you come across look incredible. And it also maintained that sort of level of quality in the storytelling. The voice acting in this game, as has been the case in all the Kain games, is top-notch. Seriously, some of the best voice acting we're finding in games today. This is a gorgeous game. If you've been playing the Kain games for a while, there's no reason why you shouldn't pick up Defiance. And if you haven't played any of the Kain games, I think even though this is sort of the most current one, it's still a great place to start. Go check it out. Legacy of Kain Defiance. Awesome game.
All right, we're back. We're talking about the Incredible Hulk, Ultimate Destruction. This is from Radical.
That's right.
And Vivendi Universal. It's on all 3 systems. We looked at it on the PlayStation 2. What'd you think?
When you talk about a game, talking about indestructible environment, this is the epitome of it.
It's like the perfectly named game.
It is.
They couldn't have named
awesome.
this game anything better than Ultimate Destruction.
When you talk, you can literally pick up, grab, even a little tiny people thing.
Yep. This is like the ultimate sandbox game. You know, you talk about Grand Theft Auto 3 introducing the go anywhere, do anything kind of thing. This takes it to the nth degree.
Yes.
And honestly, as I was playing this game, I was thinking to myself, how could you come up with a better Hulk game than this?
No, this is the one.
It's unbelievable.
This is the ultimate Hulk right
yes,
here.
Absolutely.
This is the Incredible Hulk.
It is. Yes, it is. You're right.
Dude, you can pick up cows and throw them.
know.
As
I know.
Stan Lee says, enough said. Picking up cows.
Anything you see
know?
is interactable. And that's what I love in games like this. Any object. You can pick up the giant gas globe thing and go bowling. There's mini games. You can play golf.
You can pick up people.
I know.
And sometimes you can throw the people or place them down and be nice to them. It's your decision.
I love that you can grab stuff and run up a building and do super cannonball dives. I mean, it is sick.
Fun is to be had.
It really.
Yeah,
Just
on every level.
You are going to be absolutely addicted. I mean, it really is insane. You get a giant city level to run around, and it's not quite as massive as Manhattan was in Spider-Man 2,
right.
But it's still very impressive. All the buildings have a degree of destructibility. You can leave your mark all over the damn thing. Some of them you can even take down. Well, you know, you punch the walls.
Peeing all over the buildings?
No,
or leaving
he's
his
destroying
mark?
them.
Does the Hulk pee green?
That's a good
what
question.
I want to know.
Okay.
The Hulk pees lime. That's what I'm thinking. Bright lime. Go ahead.
It's incredible, the things that you think about.
The Incredible Hulk.
It's insane.
But you're right. You leave your mark on the walls. You can smash the ground. There's just destruction.
You can actually grab cars and turn them into metal boxing gloves.
That's right.
And start beating on things. You can jump on a bus and surf down the city streets. You start battling cops and things like that. And just like in Grand Theft and some of the other games, it escalates. The more destruction you do, the more sort of opponents you have to face. Eventually you're facing these giant robot dudes that can beat the Hulk around and throw you all over the damn place. It's incredible.
And it's great because, you know, you really get a sense of being the Hulk in this game.
My only knock against this game, honestly, I mean, I love the storytelling. I like the voiceover. The audio in this game is something to be experienced. It's incredible. My only knock, though, I'm not a huge Hulk fan. And I liked all of the stuff that they did with him, but I didn't grow up reading the books, and I don't know all the mythology. But I had a hell of a fun time with this, and I know that if you are a Hulk fan,
you're gonna freak.
Your mind is gonna be blown. What are you gonna give The Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction?
I'm giving The Incredible Hulk an 8.5.
9 out of 10 from me. Definitely pick this up. I would give this 9.5 or 10 if I love the Hulk. But I seriously can't imagine a better Hulk game than this.
There you go.
On the positive side, the layers of interactivity will blow you away. The graphics and sound effects in this game are incredible. And Tommy wanted me to mention that he likes the Hulk's green pea and being able to pick up and throw cows.
It's lime.
Oh, lime pea, right.
On the negative side, the only real negative is that if you're not really into the Hulk and smashing crap, then you're probably not going to be into this, but I think you should try it out anyway.
All right, don't go anywhere. We're coming right back with the Fantastic Four. Yeah, I had to dust off the GBA since I've been playing the DS recently. But listen, I've got a very good GBA game to talk about. This is Batman Begins, and I'm happy to say it's not a bad Batman game. It's actually quite a bit of fun. It's a 2D experience, and it's developed by Vicarious Visions, who made my favorite Spider-Man GBA game. That was Mysterio's Menace, for those keeping score. And the gameplay is actually pretty tight. Batman's got some cool animations. You can make him run and then dive and roll and do cool things like that. You've got different types of missions where you're going up against the Scarecrow. Of course, you fight Ra's al Ghul in here as well, which is awesome. Lots of cool Gotham cityscape environments to race around in. You've got all kinds of stealth capabilities, so you can actually sneak into sort of corners and back off, and then you'll go into the shadows. You've got different utility belt functions. You can throw batarangs and sort of shurikens and things like that. I'm having a lot of fun. This is Batman Begins for the GBA, 8 out of 10.
We are back, and we were looking around all over the place trying to find a place to review Fantastic Four.
We found one.
We think we found a pretty good place.
I wanted to do the Hulk here, but he was like, I don't know.
Oh, it's nice that they built this set for us.
Just for us.
I like that.
It's awesome.
It's really cool.
We're talking about Fantastic Four play.
Fantastic Four.
What?
On the GameCube.
Oh.
It's also out there for the PS2 and Xbox.
Oh, I'm going to have to change my notes then.
Yeah, we're not reviewing porn in this episode.
We're not reviewing that porno thing?
No, we're not reviewing porn.
Damn.
What did you think of the Fantastic Four video game?
Well, you know, we were talking about Batman's nipples earlier, and,
right.
I think it's important to bring up that, sadly, Invisible Girl doesn't have...
There's no nipples.
No.
Right off the bat, I want to say they've done an amazing job with the character modeling of Michael Chiklis. His character in the game.
It does look good, huh?
Unbelievable.
What's great is that you play each of the four characters. What I love is it's real easy to choose which of the four characters.
Well, they use the X-Men Legends thing where you select on the D-pad and
there's
you get
one big head on each of the things. And you say, oh, Johnny Storm, you hit that one. You know, it's real easy. They all have super kind of combo moves that are easy to learn and stuff. And it is kind of, they have a great co-op mode as well.
But this is my problem.
Yeah.
It's a Fantastic Four, but only 2 people can play at the same time.
That is the problem.
That is like the
not
dumbest
the Fantastic 2.
It's not. It's the 4, right?
The Fantastic 4.
Last time I checked.
Fantastic Foursome.
Right.
Not the Fantastic Twosome.
Now you're back to the porn.
Oh, I couldn't help it. I'm
going to throw the porn for 2 minutes.
If I was invisible, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be like, you know, and Mr. Fantastic, boy, the fun I could have with that.
Right.
My favorite guy to play is Johnny Storm, the Human Torch.
I like him too, yeah.
He's got, he kind of like floats above the air.
You just like saying flame on.
No.
Yes,
no,
that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. You like saying flame on. It's your favorite phrase.
It's flame off.
All right.
And you can throw fireballs, and he's got this whoop-de-doo kind of flamer move that he does.
What I tell you, flame on with the whoop-de-doo.
He does a big flamer move.
You know what I'm talking about.
They do a really good job of setting up the storyline, though, and you know, you play parts of the movie.
But I like that they veer off. I thought that was pretty cool. They have the Mole Man in there and other villains from Fantastic Four. I did like the unlockables. There's interviews with Stan Lee and all the cast members.
Excelsior!
And I like the fact that you can actually go to hell. There's an actual like a hell level in there. The artwork's pretty decent.
Pretty decent. Not as good as like the Batman Begins game.
Or the Hulk. Not anywhere near as good as the Hulk.
But it's adequate.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You know?
I did find it very restrained, and the environments. I mean, it's a classic style. If this was in the 80s or 90s, it would just be a 2D scrolling type game. You know,
Right.
It's equivalent to that. You do have 3D manipulation. You can change the camera
The
around.
camera is really good, though.
But the environments are limited. You know, it's not. There's no real scope to this, to the scale or size of this game, and there's a lot of repetition. Like as
There
the
is
thing,
repetition. That was the one thing that bugged me.
As the thing, you like do things like you grab onto a balcony and you keep hammering on a button to shake everybody off.
Right.
Or Invisible Girl, you'll cycle the button, the joypad
See,
around.
that's cool, though. There are some of these mini games.
Right.
You know, as Reed Richards, you got to open
God of War
doors.
style
and-
mini games.
Yeah, you know, and again, there's different
But they get
ones,
repetitive.
But they do get repetitive
Yeah.
when you're 4 or 5 hours into the game.
What I don't understand is they didn't offer any online play at all. You know, that's just inexcusable. This should have been a 4-player game. They should have had 4-player co-op online play, and they really dropped the ball there. What are you going to give Fantastic Four?
I'm giving Fantastic Four a 7.5. I think it's very accessible. I really liked it.
They dropped the ball in some big
come on
areas.
now.
6 out of 10 from me.
On the positive side, this game is very easy to get into and accessible for all gamers. Although the co-op is only 2 people, it's still very well done. And it's really cool to play all the different characters with all their great combo moves and tons of unlockables.
On the negative side, the visuals could have been a little bit sharper. There's a lot of repetition with the different minigame maneuvers. And where the hell is the 4-player gameplay in this thing, including some online support? What's up with that? We're coming right back with more comic book stuff. We've got Fantastic Four and Batman Begins controllers.
You get your Batman controllers.
I do.
Where the hell are my Tron controllers? That's what I want.
It's an angry man. All right, we got something different for you guys for Hit List this week. We are going to talk about some of our favorite superhero games, seeing as we're at Comic-Con 2005.
That's right.
What's one of your favorites?
One of my favorites was Spider-Man on the PlayStation 1, a game I worked on, in fact, but I'm not being biased. It was actually the first time Spider-Man was kind of in 3D and
blew everybody away.
Yeah, it was really one of my favorites.
I want to go back in time on the Sega Genesis back to a game called Eternal Champions, which was a fighting game, all made up superheroes. Nobody was licensed in that thing at all, but it was a really innovative fighting game from Sega. Lots of fun, lots of cool powers.
Right.
And I would like to see Eternal Champions brought back. I think that's definitely a license that Sega should rejuvenate.
That was that other comic book game on the Genesis, Comic Zone, that I know you liked.
That was a great game where you were actually had panels of a comic book flipping over, and you could jump up and down inside the pages of your own book. It was unbelievable, actually.
Now I'm going to stick with my Spider-Man theme. I'm going to say Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
Spider-Man 2 on the Xbox
Last
and
year?
PlayStation
Oh my
2,
God.
and unbelievable.
I played that game way too long.
It was like Grand Theft Auto, except you were Spider-Man.
Absolutely fantastic. I liked X-Men Mutant Academy 2 on the PlayStation 1. That's going back a little ways too, but that was actually a pretty slick fighting game with quite a bit of depth in it, and you got to play as all your favorite X-Men characters.
Well, you want to talk X-Men? My favorite X-Men game was X-Men Legends from a year ago. I mean, they've really been stepping up the quality there. The cooperative play on that was unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Really fun to get into. It's, awesome stuff.
You want to talk about cooperative gameplay? You can't not talk about City of Heroes, which NC Soft has really rocked the online world with. It's a terrific, massively multiplayer game. Lots and lots of great attributes to that game. And of course, they're going to have the expansion pack pretty soon for City of Villains. I still play that game, and I have a lot of fun with City of Heroes.
Well, I think Superman 64 is probably my favorite one.
Shut up. Don't insult our audience. That's just sad.
That game sucks.
You can't even bring that up in this place.
How about a shout out to the Spider-Man Atari 2600 version?
Right, back in the day.
The thing with the web, and it was pretty archaic.
Pretty bad.
But
yeah,
back
it's pretty
then,
sad.
You talking about archaic, switching to the arcades.
Yes.
What about Marvel versus Capcom?
That was a great game.
I am not really into 2D fighters at all, but I know that was a big popular game with the fans out there.
Yeah, it was definitely a very, very fun game. You know what's great to see here at Comic-Con 2005? This was definitely, with Hulk, Batman Begins, and Fantastic Four, the strongest superhero lineup of games we've played at a Comic-Con. And we have Ultimate Spider-Man coming up pretty soon.
Which is crazy unbelievable.
X-Men Legends 2. City of Villains I just mentioned. So if you're a comic book fan, there's a lot of great games to go back and check out and have some fun with.
And a lot of great ones coming out.
Absolutely.
Best is yet to come.
Big time. We've got something a bit different this time in hardware.
Look at Pikachu's ass.
That's Pikachu's.
Wow.
You'd never think you'd see that at Comic-Con.
That's Pikachu's buns right
That's
there.
craziness.
I can smell it from here. Controllers, Batman.
I can't even. I can't even follow you. I don't understand you.
Batman
You're
and
such a
Fantastic
weird
Four
person.
controllers.
Yes.
Done by the same company.
Mad Catz.
Now, the interesting thing about these controllers, I thought.
Yeah.
The Fantastic Four ones were really good.
Yes, they
You
were.
know, they had all the different characters. They got the Thing one, I think, is my favorite.
That is one of the
Got
coolest
orange rock
licensed
kind of
controllers
thing, right?
ever. My favorite one, though, out of all the Fantastic Four ones,
Yeah.
Dr. Doom.
Oh.
It's so deadly. It's a green controller
Right.
with Dr. Doom standing very menacingly, very stylish, lots of silver touches on there. It looks amazing. You go to the Batman ones.
What happened to your Batman controller? You've been waiting your whole life
I
for
swear
a Batman controller.
somebody was drunk when they were doing the artwork for the Batman Begins controller.
It was the colors.
Why do we have a white and red Batman Begins
I've
controller?
never seen red in a Batman comic book unless it's somebody's blood.
They switched up the button configurations for the start and the select on the PlayStation 2. You've got them on the top of the controller so you can have the full faces, all art. You know, it's
Right.
basically the art and then the buttons. I thought the buttons for the back and the start on the Xbox controllers were a little sort of sunk in, so you didn't really know what you were pressing. But the price is right on all of these. They're $20 US,
Right.
which isn't too bad at all. I recommend Fantastic Four.
I'm going to recommend the Fantastic Four controller.
Batman Begins controllers.
Batman Begins can bite me.
I agree. I recommend Fantastic Four, not the Batman Begins, even though they're the same controllers. Crazy. On the positive side, the Fantastic Four controllers emulate the characters really well, especially Dr. Doom and the Thing. The price point is pretty decent. And on the PlayStation 2 controllers, I like that the start and select are on the top of the controller so they don't interfere with the artwork.
Now, for the negative side, we didn't really dig the Batman controllers too much. I mean, what are they thinking for the art style here? The colors are all wrong, and we didn't like the start and back buttons on the Xbox controller.
Today on the show, Tommy and I took a look at Batman Begins. This is a great-looking Batman game that's very true to the film, but I was a little bit disappointed by how linear the game was, and why couldn't I shoot batarangs anytime I wanted to? The Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. This is an awesome video game interpretation of the Incredible Hulk. The only thing that kind of hurt the game a little bit for Tommy and I is that we're not huge fans of the Hulk character. Fantastic Four. We love the face modeling of Michael Chiklis in this game, and the effects are pretty cool, but the fun is hurt by some pretty dumb AI and lots of repetition. I finally got some Batman Begins controllers, but they were seriously outclassed by the much cooler Fantastic Four controllers. What's up with that? On the GBA, Tommy took a look at Fantastic Four, which is pretty thin, but at least all 4 characters are playable in the game. I looked at Batman Begins on the GBA, which is a surprisingly fun scrolling action-adventure game, and you can shoot batarangs all damn day.
Unbelievable.
I played that game way too long.
It was like Grand Theft Auto, except
Yes.
you were Spider-Man.
Absolutely fantastic. I liked X-Men Mutant Academy 2 on the PlayStation 1. That's going back a little ways too, but that was actually a pretty slick fighting game.